in the Department of Science and Technology at Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to take the lecture on the subject name System Analysis and Design. The topic of today's session is Entity Relationship Diagram, that is ERD. These are the topics which I have covered in this session. What is an entity relationship diagram? Common entity relationship diagram symbols, information engineering style, ER diagram uses. Now come to the ERD. ERD is an entity relationship diagram. In short, you can call it as ERD. This shows the relationship of entities, sets stored in the database. Okay. So, an entity in this context is basically an object, a component of a data. On an entity set is a collection of similar entities, and these entities can have attributes that define in properties. Okay, like if I am giving you an example, like name is the entity and the attributes are the first name, middle name and the last name. Okay, so by defining the entities, their attributes and showing the relationships between them, an ER diagram illustrates the logical structure of databases. So ER diagrams are used to sketch out the design of a database. The common entity relationship diagram symbols, there are 5 main components of a ERD. First is entities. Entities which are represented by rectangles as shown in this slide. An entity is an object or concept about which you want to store information. So you have to store entity in this rectangular box. So a weak entity is an entity that must define by a foreign key relationship with another entity, as it cannot be uniquely identified by its own attributes alone. Like you can see here, these are double lined. Okay, here you can see a single line rectangular. So a weak entity you can show this double line rectangular box. Now the third is actions. Actions which are represented by diamond shapes show how two entities share information in the database. Like if this is this relationship is true, then you true, that means you go to here, and if this relationship is false or no, you have to go there or follow this path. Okay, so this is basically a diamond box relationship. Okay, in some cases entities can be self-linked. For example, employees can supervise other employees. Okay, so you can see here, this is a diamond box and this is linked with this rectangular box. This is the employee, that is entity. That's why here I am saying entities can be self-linked. Okay, these entity can be self-linked through this actions. Okay, that is decision, or you can say relationship. So the next one is attributes. Attributes which are represented by ovals. A key attribute is the unique distinguishing characteristics of the entity. Like an employee's social security number must be the employee's key attribute. Okay, so a multi-level attribute can have more than one value. For example, an employee entity can have multiple skill values. So you can see here in this double line oval shape. So a derived attribute is based on another attribute. For example, an employee's monthly salary is based on the employee's annual salary. Okay, so you have to mention this attribute like this. Okay, in simple oval shape. Now the next is the connecting lines. This is also very important, because for this connecting lines we can understand the flow of data. Okay, so these solid lines that connect attributes to show the relationships of entities in the diagram. And the next is cardinality. This specifies how many instances of an entity relate to one instance of another entity. Ordinality is also closely linked to cardinality. While cardinality specifies the occurrences of a relationship, ordinality describes the relationship as either mandatory or optional. So in other words, Cardinality specifies the maximum number of relationships and ordinality specifies the absolute minimum number of relationships. Okay, so you can see here this is the customer, and here you can see the relationship. This is the entity, and there is a account is also an entity, and this is a relationship diagram. This is connected to this entity and this entity. This is one to many and this is one to one. Okay, so you can see in this diagram. Next comes to the information style, engineering style. In this you can see this single line is a one-to-one relationship. Okay, if you are seeing this line in which this two arrows are there and one is a vertical line, this means this shows one to many. That is of course mandatory. And if this is opposite, like the many to one, okay, so this shows one to one or more one or more. Okay, so here you can see this vertical line is there, but in this is there is no vertical line shows in this diagram. This means this is only, and this is mandatory, means one to many and one or more. Okay, so if two parallel lines are shown, vertical lines are shown in this single line, single horizontal line, that means one and only one. Okay, so if this is a simple oval, a circle like shape, and with coordinated with this single vertical line, that means 0 or 1. Okay, so in this you are seeing these two arrows and a single circle. This means 0 or many. Okay, so these all styles are shown in this diagram. Okay, the next is the chain style. In this you can see ordinality describes the minimum, that is optional, versus mandatory, that is many to one. Okay, so cardinality describes the maximum. Okay, so company means 1. Okay, so 1 to 1 colon n means n is the number of times, that means 1, 2 or 3 or many more. Okay, so 1, 2, 0 or more. Okay, so m to n means m and n equals to 1, 0 to 1 to 3. 0 or more to 0 or more, that means many to many. Okay, 1 is to 1 means 1 to 1. So you can, these all you can see here in this diagram, or you can say flow chart. Now Beckman style is, you can see this is 1 to 1 and this is 0 or more to 1 or more, 1 to 1 or more. Okay, this is the Martin style. In this this one is 1 and only 1 is mandatory, and if the star is shown, then that means many 0 or more optional. You can see the star here, and this star dash means 1 or dash 1 dot star means 1 or more, and 0 dot 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 1 means 0 or more, and 0 1 means 0, and so on. Okay, so this is Martin style. Now come to the ER diagram uses. When documenting a system or process, looking at the system in multiple ways, increasing the understanding of that system, so ER diagrams are commonly used in conjunction with a data flow diagram to display the contents of a data store. So they help us to visualize how data is connected in a general way and are particularly useful for constructing a relational database. This is all about ER diagram. Then this is a question for the practice. Explain entity relationship model with example. Thank you. This session powered by digital version 2.0 Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.